Hello, Stars fans. Welcome to another episode of the Mighty Melbourne Stars podcast. This is the final opposition preview. We're going to be previewing the Sydney Sixers. I'm joined by my co-host, as always.
G'day guys, it's Jacob here, and yes, very excited for the final preview. The season is right around the corner, and me and Heath cannot wait to jump into even more podcasts throughout the season. But yeah, final preview today, Sydney Sixers. It's going to be a good one, but I'll hand over to Heath to get us started.
Thank you. Obviously, the Sydney Sixers, they were the runners-up in the grand final last year to the Brisbane Heat. Obviously, they had a fantastic year without winning the thing. What do you reckon makes the Sixers turn up year after year so consistently good, and everyone wants to write them off, but they're somehow at the pointy end of the season year after year?
Yeah, it's a really good question. What makes them so consistent every year? For as long as I can remember, the Sixers have been such a dominant team, and I really think it just comes down to their roster. I mean, they have such great depth within their lineup, and a lot of those players aren't test players. Like you look at, for example, the Adelaide Strikers, they have a great roster, but they lose a lot of players to test, like Travis Head and Alex Carey. When you look at the Sixers, I mean, they've got Josh Philippe, they've got Ben Dorsius, they've got James Vince, they've got, Hayden Kerr, Jordan Silk, Moses Henriques, the list goes on. All such great players, but none of them have test commitments. So therefore, they have a very strong lineup throughout the season. And I think that's the main factor that kind of gets them into the final every year.
Yeah, no, that's very good. I was going to say Sean Abbott as well. He's another player you can add to the list as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Now we're going to obviously go to the players that we need to look out for now. Obviously, the Sixers are star-studded with players everywhere. Who do you think the Stars need to watch out for? Because, like I said, they've got a lot of stars that can take us apart, but so can we.
Yeah, no, it's a good question, and I could have picked from a lot of people here. I've selected three, and those three are Josh Philippe, who has been in great form for a while now, both with the bat and behind the wicket. So I think he'll be a threat as usual. An opening batter, always getting him off to a fantastic start. Ben Dorsius is 30 years old now, so he's got his experience up, and I mean he's always looking dangerous. I think a few of the other Sixers bowlers are getting older and probably out of their primes now. So I think it's his year to kind of step up again and lead them towards victory. And then I've chosen Joel Davies, the young gun. He's 21 years old, and he kind of had a little spark in BBL 13. So I think he's got some great potential along with a lot of the other young guys in the BBL. But yeah, those are my kind of three that I think the Stars need to watch out for this season when we come up against the Sixers.
Yeah, for me, I reckon it is Hughesy, David Hughes, who plays for the Sixers. He's a really good batter. I'm going to go Sean Abbott, a really decent bowler. They don't have Tom Curran anymore, thank God. We from from the team, and I'm trying to figure out who else is who else is consistent at the Renegades. Not the Renegades, the Sixers. I'll go Mr. Benny Dorsius as my
Yeah, I
third.
like that.
Yeah, I just I just stuffed up there with the Renegades, but Sixers.
Nah, it's all right. We're always thinking about the Renegades.
Yeah. So obviously, what's your best and worst memory from a Stars point of view against the Sixers?
Ooh, I think that's a good question. I think the best memory would be when Marcus Stoinis hit 147 not out against them at the MCG back in BBL '08 or '09, I believe. That was when Stoinis was in his prime and he was just dominating him. From a worst point of view, it's pretty hard to go past the BBL '09 grand final. The Sixers got to bat a lot of overs, I believe, all 20 overs. Potential. Actually, no, it was a reduced game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was the reduced game. I think it was 12 overs each.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the Stars just couldn't get the job done. It was pretty disappointing to watch us choke in another grand final. But yeah, No, I think the best memory, yeah, would be Stoinis. That was an incredible knock by him, and he held the record for a long time until his best mate Maxi passed him. But yeah, those are my two memories.
Yeah, no, my memories are the same ones. The Stoinis freakish shots from everywhere. He was even belting Tom Curran around when he was at the Sixers, and just like the way we performed on that day, like anything we had before, and that was the year we made the grand final back to back years and lost, and that was my worst memory because I was like, we got off to a good start. It was like, yep, no, good start,
Yep,
and then we just collapsed, and we were just absolutely horrible. Like it's just terrible, and that was our last grand final appearance. So
yep.
obviously we've done our best and worst memory. We've recapped the threats and recapped their season. Where do you see the Sixers finishing this season as their as that they've been compared to the Scorchers as one of the teams that have the most titles and just can find a way to win and are always up there.
Yeah, look, I mean, finishing second last season with a pretty solid lineup, I see them probably coming close again this season. I'd like to go over their draft picks and signings. So they signed Ben Menenti from the Strikers. He's been consistent for Adelaide the past few seasons, and I think that was a great pickup from the Sixers. So that's obviously going to strengthen them. They also not retained. They also drafted Akil Hossein, the spin bowler from the Renegades, who I believe is from the West Indies. And then they've retained James Vince, who is obviously an extremely dominant player for him, and he's shown that before. And then they've also drafted Jaffa Chohan. I believe that's how you pronounce it. So I think with those draft picks, just wait 1 second, guys. Heath is just disconnected.
Yeah, no, sorry about that.
That's all right. We're good to continue.
So we said the guy from Adelaide and the guy from the West Indies, and who was the third one again?
Yep. So James Vince, who's
Yeah,
a dominant player from England, who has proven himself. His highlights speak for themselves. We've seen him in the Big Bash and also in other international leagues, just dominating. And they've also drafted Jaffa Chohan, which is, I believe, how you pronounce it. I'm not sure where he's from or what he's like, but no, they've taken a lot of good draft picks, to be able to retain Vince and pick up Akil Hossein, who was incredible for the Renegades, as well as trading for Ben Menenzi. I think that's an awesome off season from the Sixers. So they've probably strengthened their attack. So I think if all goes well for them, no injuries and no test call ups for anyone, then they'd be looking at, yeah, probably a top two position again. I'm going to stay with my original decision and say they're going to finish second.
yeah. I'm gonna go a bit tandem and gonna put them in third. They'll be right up there, like you said. If they can get list free and just be consistent as they always are, then I it'd be hard to go past them to win this year's title. But you never know; it's anyone's year. Besides Thunder, Hurricanes, Renegades, yeah, those teams can piss off. They're not part of the. They're part of the Big Bash, but they're not like good enough to win. But the teams that
Yeah,
I reckon win are the Stars, Strikers, Scorchers, Sixers,
and the
and,
Heat.
and Brisbane Heat. Yeah, so it's five teams. I'm gonna
Yep.
end one. This is gonna be a very difficult question. Um, what are the what is the biggest Sixers strength that they have in your opinion, and also their biggest weakness that we can exploit?
It's a good question once again. Their biggest strength would probably, like I mentioned before, just be their batting lineup. I think, even if we take a wicket, they have so much depth within their lineup, the next guy who's coming into the crease is just a star player. Then you get him out, and then the next guy coming in is just another star player. And it kind of just keeps going on way into their bowling lineup. Like, they don't really have a weakness in terms of their batting lineup, which I think is a massive strength for them. In terms of a weakness, I think if we gain some momentum, they struggle to gain it back. I noticed in the BBL 13 final when the Brisbane Heat kind of went on a little bit of a run and the Sixers were in shambles, it looked like they kind of fell under pressure a little bit and they just couldn't gain that momentum back. So I think if we can, come out hard early and take some wickets and put them under a bit of batting pressure, then I think that's their main weakness.
Yeah, for my obviously the strength is their batting, but their weakness, I reckon, is whenever they bowl short. Like every team bowls short, but with their pace bowlers, if like guys like Hilton Cartwright, Maxwell Stoinis, Harper, Bo Webster, if they can all get on the get on the end of the short balls, and we're just gonna have a field day. Um, Obviously, with when we play them, if we're gonna go for match predictions, I reckon Hilton Cartwright 35 runs, and I'm going to go. Let's give Stoinis 3 wickets, eh? The
I
captain
like
showed
that.
day, and we win by about, I say, 6 wickets overall. What about you?
Yep. So just because we don't have a Sydney Sixers fan on today, I'll make some predictions for the Sixers, I guess.
Yeah.
Um, I'll lock in for James Vince, who's going to be their leading run scorer. I'll say he's going to make 44 runs as a bold prediction. He's always, coming in at the top of the order, so he's got plenty of time to work in the innings. And he's been consistent for a long time. I mean, we've got a great bowling attack now, but I think Vince is quite a strong player. And in terms of bowlers, I'm going to say Jackson Bird. He's been around the Sixers for a long time. Used to play the Stars way back, but I think he's 37 now, but he's still got it in him. I think he'll take 3 wickets.
No, that's very good. I like that prediction. Did you want to tease the Stars fans on what's coming up for our podcast ambitions in the future?
Yep. So very soon, guys, in the next couple days before the season, there's going to be a very big season preview, an official one. We've done all the little team opposition analysis, which is this podcast and a few previous ones. But the preview tomorrow is going to be about pretty much everything that you need to know before going into BBL 14. We're going to be making some predictions, but we're also going to be giving you guys a lot of information regarding player availability, our international players, some injury updates. We're going to be talking about the giveaway that's happening with Stars BBL and a lot more exciting stuff to do with the Melbourne Stars and the podcast. So it's going to be a big episode, and we're looking for some fans to come on. So make sure you guys send me or Heath or the podcast account a message, and we're happy to have you on.
Yeah, no, that's good for the thing. Like to shout out the podcast account and our personal accounts. Don't forget, we're trying. If you get when you give us a follow, it just means a lot to us, as we wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't for you, the fans. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like and share, turn on your notification bell, and for more updates and everything. As we're trying to get to 50 subscribers, and hopefully we can get past that. And yeah, just bigger and better things to come. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for their support over the whole off season because to be fair, when me and Heath started this podcast, it was the season was pretty much done. So we kind of began at the start of the off season and we've worked pretty hard throughout the whole entire off season and now it's finally time for me and Heath to enjoy the big bash together. So we'd like to thank, all of you guys for your support because this is kind of one of the final podcasts before the season. So it's been a great off season and I'm looking forward to the season. So yeah, thank you guys for all your support.
Definitely thank you, fans, also for the support. We'll see you in the next video, the Stars preview. Hopefully, we get to chat to you guys, a lot of you guys, as we can, and make fun talking about the Stars and see where we can go from here. It's onward and upwards from the Stars' point of view. Anyway, go Stars.
See you later, guys. Go Stars.
What you doing? You just wanna sunset.